It's okay.
The guard of honor commander is now marching forward to ask permission to prepare the guard of honor for the march off.
Permission to march off, Your Excellency.
Mind out, put them. Sounding to the chapel. Hey,
Let's go. Section 140, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe provides that the child president may at any time address either House of Parliament or a joint sitting of both houses. And Section 140, subsection 4 states that at least once a year, the child president must address a joint sitting of both houses of Parliament on the state of the nation, and the child speaker and child president of the Senate must take necessary arrangements for the children's parliament to receive such address. Accordingly, I have to inform the House that at 10 o'clock a.m. today, my apologies, delayed, His Excellency, the Child President, Honorable Leonel Mazarire, will deliver the State of the Nation address, which marks the official opening of the 33rd session of the Children's Parliament. Business is now suspended. Pray, be seated. Honorable members, may you grant me the honor and privilege to welcome and invite His Excellency, the Child President, Lionel Mazarire, to deliver the State of the Nation address and outline the legislative agenda for the 33rd session of the Children's Parliament.
The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Comrade Dr. E.D. Nangagwa. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Retired Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired K.C.D. Mohadi. The Minister of Defense and Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Honorable O.C.Z. Kashi Muchinguri. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate J.F.N. Mudena. The President of the Senate, Honorable M.M. Chinomona. The Minister of State for National West Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable M. Chombo, and all Ministers of Provincial Affairs and Devolution here present. The Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaire, and all Ministers here present. The Deputy Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable K. Mupamanga, and all Deputy Ministers here present. Chairpersons of Portfolio and Thematic Committees, Senators and Members of Parliament here present. The Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. M. Rushwaya. Chairman of the Public Service Commissioner, Dr. V. Hungwe. Permanent Secretaries here present. The Chairperson of the Zimbabwe Youth Council, Ms. Ara Mugwagwa. Senior government officials here present. The Speaker of the Children's Parliament. The President of the Children's Senate. Members of the Children's Parliament. Children's Council. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, boys and girls. Good morning, Madam President of the Senate, Honorable Speaker, distinguished members of the Children's Parliament. What a glorious moment it is. My heart is swelling with pride and joy, yes, even a flutter of nerves, because today, not only for ourselves, but for millions of other children and young people across Zimbabwe, first and foremost, allow me to pay tribute to our President, His Excellency, Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. Your unwavering commitment and bold vision in the Second Republic have given us a louder voice, brighter hopes, and a firmer belief in our potential. Because of you, Your Excellency, the rights of every child are no longer ink on paper. They are a very promise of our daily lives and the foundation of our shared future. Honorable members, today you will debate the pressing issues that shape our tomorrow. But I ask each of us, as we remember the brave children of Soweto, let our debates be more than just words, but a pledge to serve. In our schools and communities, let us shine light on the perils of drug and negative pressure. Let us launch support clubs where young survivors of addiction share their victories. Let us convene parents, teachers, and our village leaders to stand united in safeguarding our generation. And wherever we can, let us join hands with our senior parliamentarians, our mentors, so that our plans take root and flourish in any constituency. The journey ahead brims with promise. With the leadership of His Excellency, I envision internet centers in every ward where children in the remotest of villages will learn to code, will research and connect with the world beyond our borders. I see vocational training centers reimagined with modern workshop spaces where young carpenters, welders, and designers and tech enthusiasts transform ideas into livelihoods and lift their families out of want. We, as the junior parliamentarians, will champion camps that teach leadership, financial savvy, and accessible mental health support. We will convene our own youth summit, where the brightest innovations will be led by architects of our nation's future. But talk alone will not bring Zimbabwe to build it. True progress demands action. I challenge each and every one of you. What book did you read today that sharpened your mind? Whose hand did you lift in your neighborhood, and why and how? Which new skill will you master to better serve your community? For every time you grow, Zimbabwe will grow with you. Let us unite in youth business groups, young farmers cultivating fresh hope, young programmers crafting the next great application, young artisans turning talent into enterprise. And let us remind every decision maker, from local chiefs to the president, that we stand ready, eager to partner in Zimbabwe's success. Today, we do more than just open a session. We ignite a movement fueled by caring hearts, keen minds, and courageous spirits. We vow that no child and no place is left behind. We will be our reality, not merely our rallying cry. We promise to lift one another, to protect one another, and to believe in one another. So, junior members of parliament, speak with conviction, listen with empathy, and act with courage. Together, we will illuminate the path to a brighter Zimbabwe. It is with immense pride and unwavering faith in you that I declare the 33rd session of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe officially open. God bless you all, and God bless our beloved Zimbabwe. Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humankind, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant us that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come upon our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those interests you have committed to our charge, all which we ask in the name and for the sake of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. I lay upon the table a speech which His Excellency, the Child President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable UNICEF, has been pleased to deliver to the Children's Parliament. Are there any notices of motions? I call upon the Honorable Child Minister of Finance and Economic Development. I put the question that the Committee of Supply be appointed in terms of Standing Order number 123. Those in favor of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed. I recognize the Honorable Child Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to seek leave of the House to suspend the provisions of Standing Order number 69, which provides that every motion requires notice. In this case, I seek to move for the suspension of this standing order so that we debate a critical motion today as we belatedly commemorate the Day of the African Child, which is always remembered every year on the 16th of June. Honorable Speaker, I therefore crave for leave of this august House to move this motion.
The Minister seeks leave of this House to move for the suspension of provisions of Standing Order number 69, which provides for motions without notices. Is there any objection? No objection. Agreed to. I call upon the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, I move for the suspension of provisions of Standing Order number 69 so that I introduce the motion to observe the belated commemoration of the Day of the African Child.
The question before the House is a motion by the Honorable Child Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs that the provisions of Standing Order number 69 be suspended. Is there any debate? No debate. Agreed to. I put the question that the provisions of Standing Order number 69 be suspended. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed. and the provisions of Standing Order number 69 are hereby suspended. I now call upon the Honorable Child Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs to introduce her motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move the motion in my name. I rise to move that, whereas the Day of the African Child commemorates the sacrifices made for children's rights and calls for the continuous introspection and commitment to addressing challenges facing African children. Recognizing the theme of the 33rd session of the Zimbabwean Junior Parliament, planning and budgeting for the children's rights progress since 2010, provides a critical opportunity to assess national efforts in upholding the rights and welfare of all children in Zimbabwe. Mr. Speaker, acknowledging the significant progress made in various policy frameworks and initiatives aimed at the improving of lives of Zimbabwean children since 2010, including the National Development Strategy and the Child Budgeting Series launched by the government of Zimbabwe in November 2021. Concerned, however, that despite these efforts, persistent challenges remain in areas such as equitable access to education, comprehensive child protection, adequate healthcare and nutrition, genuine child participation, often exacerbated by constrained fiscal environment, economic volatility, climate-induced emergencies, and inefficient resource distribution. Mr. Speaker, emphasizing that effective planning and child-sensitive budgeting are fundamental to translating constitutional provisions and international commitments to tangible improvements in the lives of children. Now, therefore, this House resolves to A. Call upon the government to reaffirm its commitment to the rights and welfare of all children by adopting and implementing child-sensitive planning and budgeting as the cornerstone of our national development, so as to build a resilient and prosperous future for every African child. B. Applaud the government for sterling progress made towards improving the lives of Zimbabweans since 2010. Mr. Speaker, in contributing to this motion, I wish to state that for far too long Zimbabwe has stayed amongst the midst of the wishing. But however, since this topic of concern has been put to our doorstep, this calls for action. However, I would like to applaud the Zimbabwean government for it is proactive, such that we have initiatives that cater for the enhancement of child rights, such as Education 5.0, the heritage-based curriculum that focuses on practicality, skills-based for life, and our heritage. We would also like to applaud the government of Zimbabwe for building orphanages, for taking care of people living with disability. But however, apart from the efforts being made by the government, we are still facing problems in our institutions. We are still facing problems for example, the right to education, the right to accommodation, and the right to healthcare facilities. However, honorables, as we indulge in this debate, we look forward to a very insightful debate, to a very cultivative debate that brings solutions to the table and brings a brighter future for Zimbabwe. Honorable Speaker, I rest my case.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The question before the House is a motion by the Honorable Child Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, that this House, whereas the Day of the African Child commemorations of the sacrifices Africans made for children's rights and calls for continuous introspection and commitment. To addressing challenges facing African children, recognizing the theme of the 33rd session of the Zimbabwean Junior Parliament, planning and budgeting for children's rights progress since 2010, provides a critical opportunity to assess national efforts in upholding the rights and welfare of children in Zimbabwe. Acknowledging the significant progress made in various policy frameworks and initiatives aimed at improving the lives of Zimbabwean children since 2010, including
the National Development Strategy, NDS1, and the Child Budgeting Series launched by the government of Zimbabwe in November 2021. Concerned, however, that despite these efforts, persistent challenges remain in areas such as equitable access to quality education, comprehensive child protection, adequate healthcare and nutrition, and genuine child participation, often exacerbated by a constrained physical environment, economic volatility, climate-induced emergencies, and inefficient resource distribution. Emphasizing that effective planning and child-sensitive budgeting are fundamental to translating constitutional provisions and international commitments into tangible improvements in the lives of children. Now, therefore, this House resolves to A. Call upon the government to reaffirm its commitment to the rights and welfare of all children by adopting and implementing child-sensitive planning and budgeting as the cornerstone of our national development, so as to build a resilient and prosperous future for every child. B. Applaud the government for sterling progress made towards improving the lives of Zimbabwean children since 2010. Is there any debate? I recognize the Honorable Child Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable Machakari.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, the Child President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Lionel Mazzarelli, distinguished guests, and my fellow honorables. It is both an honor and a privilege to address this august House today on the significant strides Zimbabwe has made in advancing children's rights since 2010, and the critical role of planning and budgeting in these achievements. Over the past decade, our government has demonstrated unwavering support to the welfare of children through strategic planning and prudent budgeting. We have implemented policies and programs that have positively impacted the lives of my fellow young citizens. One of the most notable achievements is the substantial increase in school infrastructure. In 2025 alone, we have secured funding to construct not less than 120 new schools, including 30 funded by the National Building Society and 50 through a partnership with OFID. This initiative aims to reduce the distance children travel to school, ensuring that no child is left behind due to geographical barriers. Furthermore, our collaboration with UNICEF has yielded impressive results. In 2023, we reached over 73,000 children through the Emergency Social Cash Transfer program and solarized 128 disadvantaged schools, enhancing access to energy and digital learning. However, we still face some challenges. Access to quality education in remote areas continues to be a difficulty and concern, in which we must intensify efforts to bridge this gap. Additionally, all progress has been made in healthcare. There is need to further reduce child mortality rates and improve maternal health services. In the realm of infrastructural development, the recent completion of the Trabablas interchange stands as a testament to our commitment to modernizing transport networks. This $88 million project, inaugurated in May 2025, and has significantly eased traffic congestion in this area, thereby improving access to essential services for children and families. As the Child Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, I wish that we celebrate our achievements and remain vigilant and continue to allocate resources. By prioritizing children's rights in our planning and budgeting process, we pave the way for a brighter future and a more equitable future for all Zimbabwean children. I
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Is there any further debate? I recognize Honourable Shakespeare.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Firstly, I would like to applaud the government for everything it has done to prioritize children's rights. I would like to take a look at child protection, child participation, and education. On child protection, the government established the Marriage Act that states that 18 years is the minimum age for marriage. It has also hosted many awareness campaigns to stop early marriages. I would like to applaud the government for implementing the free child education with the help of UNICEF to provide a justice system that molds children and prevents further crimes. The establishment of the victim-friendly units and police stations where anyone can report abuse without fear of penalty. And the establishment of junior parliament, junior councils, and child protection committees. Though progress has been made, challenges still persist. For instance, establishing some of the laws in rural and religious areas is still a matter of concern. Institutions that address children's rights lack sufficient funding. And child participation, though it has increased, it lacks financing since those representing other children may only meet once a year to address their issues. To solve some of these problems, I suggest the government invest more in social infrastructure and social services to address poverty, which is an underlying cause for child marriages. I also suggest that the government provide more funding to institutions like the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission to improve its effectiveness. I would also like to take a look at education. Progress has been made. For instance, the proposal and implementation of the YETEC curriculum to cater for education and to make sure that each and every child can live a life in today's complex world. Schools have been built, and since last year, more than 300 examination centers were established to increase access to exams. In Zimbabwe, we used to have one state university, but now we have over 10 state universities, and each province is a vocational training center. Progress has been made, but there are still some disappointing gaps. Children in rural and urban areas write the same exams, but they don't get the same facility. In rural areas, 20 children share one textbook. We have read and noticed that science is a compulsory subject, but how can students, when they study at a four-block school, study science without the facilities, without science labs? We say we are now living in a computer world, but some of the schools do not have computer labs. I recognize that the government has donated laptops to other schools, which is a great improvement, and it has also established information centers in some of the wards. The last issue that breaks my heart are teachers not attending lessons. We want to make students but the current Zimbabwe is showing that teachers are the ones being truant. To solve this issue, I suggest the government, instead of building more schools if it does not have enough funds, it can refurbish the already existing schools. Because I would rather go to a school 30 kilometers away from home, knowing that I get quality education, rather than walking 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, knowing that the education I get is baseless.
suggest that the government listens to teachers' problems so that teachers can work wholeheartedly. Because now in rural areas, children who do not go to extra lessons, they never pass. And I would also like teachers to understand the current situation in Zimbabwe and do their duty wholeheartedly as they swore when they were graduating from colleges and universities. Because you notice that these teachers are ruining the country's future if they do not give us quality education. Because as children, we are the future of the country. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Any further debate? I recognize Honorable Tamonga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of the people in my constituency. Firstly, I would like to applaud the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe for drilling balls in schools under the Presidential Ball Drilling Scheme. I would like to applaud the Ministry of Health and Child Care for providing free medication for children. I would also like to applaud the Ministry of Education for launching the school feeding program, which promotes nutrition and balanced diet for children to grow. However, some children are still going against the Ministry of Health and Child Care's agenda of ensuring that every child has access to quality and attainable health through indulging into drugs and substance abuse. For us to eliminate drug and substance abuse, we need to look at the root cause. And I think the main reason to why children are taking drugs is depression and peer pressure. So I urge the Ministry of Education to support these children with serious guidance and counseling. Also, we need to clean these drug abusers before we import them back to school. Though money required for rehab is too much, I think our government can manage the same way it is managing to provide free drugs for people living with HIV. We need free rehabilitation facilities in our respective constituencies, because it still doesn't make sense if we send someone back to school without considering his or her health state. After leaving drugs, addicts face health problems like headaches and will be adding pain to the same child. I also urge the junior parliamentarians to report any case of drug abuse, not watching other people die in silence. Children are the future and we must not fold arms watching them destroy the future. Let's work hand in hand and let's stop drug abuse. With this, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tamonga. Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable T. Chiwenga.
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Speaker, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I am Honorable Tendai Chiwenga, proudly representing the Murewa constituency. First, I would like to acknowledge our First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for her recent visit to our health center and her generous donations to those in need. Her commitment to improving the lives of our people is commendable and inspires us all to do better. Additionally, I applaud the government's ongoing efforts to enhance healthcare accessibility across our nation, which have proven vital during challenging times. I would also like to highlight the government's significant investments in infrastructural development, which has brought remarkable improvements to our roads and public services. These initiatives are essential for fostering economic growth and ensuring that our communities thrive. The recent expansions in educational facilities underscore our commitment to quality education for all children, reflecting our dedication to nurturing future generations. Furthermore, I am proud to acknowledge the proactive measures our government has implemented to alert flood-related challenges. From investing in resilient irrigation systems to enhancing our drainage infrastructure, we are taking crucial steps to mitigate the impact of flooding on our communities. These initiatives not only protect our residents, but also ensure that our agricultural sector remains vibrant and productive. While challenges may persist, we should focus on the progress we have made and celebrate the positive direction we are heading. I urge the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development to continue prioritizing flood prevention and further enhancing educational infrastructure in our constituency. Investing in resilient bridges and effective drainage systems is critical in ensuring that our children can safely travel to school and access the education they deserve. Moreover, we must engage communities in participatory budgeting, allowing local voices to shape our strategies for combating these challenges. By involving parents and community leaders in the decision-making process, we can ensure that our initiatives align with the actual needs of our residents. Education remains the cornerstone of our society, and we must never lose sight of the fundamental rights of our children. Since 2010, we have made remarkable strides in advocating for children's rights, and I commend the government for its role in these advancements. Every child must have the chance to grow in an environment that protects their well-being and promotes learning. As we plan for the future and
Order. Honorable Member, you have 30 seconds to round up your debate.
let us prioritize the rights of our children. Let us ensure that our planning and budgeting processes are not just strategic but also compassionate, reflecting our commitment to the next generation. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chiwenga. Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Chief Majoni.
Baitabasa sachigaro nemukana wamandipa wokutaura. Chokutanga ndoda kutenda hurumende yedu nekuisa kumbiro remutemo rinova iyo rinotaura kuti ani nani ari pasi pemakore 10 anova iye anonzi mwana ane kodzero kudzidzo, zvekudya, kuhutano nekuva nechitambi chebirth certificate. Chechipiri ndoda kutenda hurumende yedu nematanho airi kuita kuti mwana wese muZimbabwe akwanise kuwana dzidzo. Mbuya nehana izvezvi vari munyika dzimu vanenge vachinyemwerera nematanho ari kuita nehurumende yedu. Hurumende mukuburikidza nebazi rezvedifensi riri kuvaka zvikoro kumaruva kwandinobva. Zvinova izvo zviri kuita kuti vana hatichadzidzire pasi pemiti. Asi izvi tichitaura kuti zvikoro tava nazvo kumaruva, hatina zvinhu zvakaita semabhuku, makombiyuta. Tanga tiri kukumbirawo kuti kumaruva kwatinobva tikwanise kuwana makombiyuta, kuti mwana wemuHarare akwanise kufananawo nemwana wekumaruva kwatinobva. Hurumende yedu yakatipa yatinoti Basic Education Assistant Module, inova iyo iri kubatsira vana kubva kupuraimari ichisvika navo kusekondari. Asi tapedza sekondari yedu A-level yedu hatina kwekuenda. Tanga tiri kukumbirawo president vedu kuti kana tapedza tiri muBIM, tapedza form 6 yedu, tikwanise kuva isu vari paBIM tigotanga kutariswa kuti tipinde pachirongwa chemapresidential scholarship. ikoko tikaenda tichida kunopinda tiri kuti tikufanira kunge tine atinoti mabhasikotsi. Vana vekumaruva hatina mabhasikotsi acho. Taka tiri kukumbirawo kuti tikwanise kuwanikwa matanho ekuti mwana wekumaruva kuruzevha kwandinobva newemuharare tifanane. Gore rakapera vatungamiri vechidiki vakaita sesu vakapiwa matablets zvinova izvo zvinofadza nokuti isusu kudunhu kwandinobva ndobva ndakatanga kuona kuti iyi ndo inonzi tablet iyi yatakapiwa mumwe wedu akaiva akugore rakapera. Saka tiri kukumbira hurumende yedu kuti vechidiki vakaita sesu tichipinda muhofisi yedu tipiwewo zvekuti tishandise pagore redu iroro. Hurumende yedu payakaisa mari yedu yatinova iyo yatinoti ziki pamaterevhizheni pazvivhitivhiti tainzwa vaimbi vachiimba ziki hoye asizve kwatinobva kumaruzevha kwedu tiri kuti tinofanirwa kubhadhara mari yechikoro nemari iyo maUS. Tanga tiri kukumbira hurumende ichiite cherechedzo pane vanhu vakutibhadharisa mari yemaUS tishandise mari yedu yenyika yedu kubhadhara mari yezvikoro. Tine chivimbo kuti hurumende yedu nepurezidendi vedu nemaministers edu vachaita cherechedzo kumaruzevha kwatinobva kuti ini mwana wekuruzevha ndikwanise kufananawo nemwana wemuharare nemwana anobva mudhorobha kuti tikamiswa tiri vaviri mwana wekuruzevha nemwana wekudhorobha tinenge takafanana igadzirise dzidzo yedu nezvese zvinoita nezveutano nezvemwana wemuzimbabwe. Ndatenda sachigaro.
Thank you, Honorable Chief, for your debate. Is there
Zita rangu ndinonzi Patience Gawa. Ndinoda kutenda hurumende yedu, vatungamiri vose vedu vanotitungamirira nekutungamirira nyika zvakanaka. Uyezve ndinoda kutenda kuti vana vechikoro vava kurapwa muzvipatara mahara. Ndinoda kutendazve hurumende yedu nekuti iri kupa vana vechikoro chikafu pachikoro. Izvo zvinova zvinobatsiridza kuti vana vasafenda vari pakudzidza. Ndinoda kutendazve kuti hurumende yedu iri kuvakisa zvikoro zvakawanda, uyezve iri kuwedzera vadzidzisi avo vanokwanisa kutipa dzidzo yakadzama muzvikoro. Asi pane zvibhozhero zvatiri kuwana kwatinogara. Ndakamirira dunhu rangu rekwachifidzoro. Isusu kwedu vana vanoda kuenda kuzvipatara vanofamba makiromita anodarika 10 nekuda kwekuti zvipatara zviri kure. Vana vakufambira kukwira mota kuti vaende kuchipatara. Izvo zvinoti kana munhu achirwara usina mari zvotoreva kuti haurapwi. Saka taikumbira hurumende itivakirewo zvipatara pedo nedzimba dzedu. Taikumbirawo zvekuti hurumende kana yaikwanisa yaizokwanisa kutipawo vana chiremba vemumisha avo vanokwanisa kutipa rubatsiro sezvo zvipatara zviri kure. Uyezve takutaura munyaya dzedzidzo, hurumende tinoda kuitenda kwazvo. Iri kutipa mabhuku ekuti tiverenge, iri kutivakira zvikoro zvakawanda kwazvo. Asi kuchikoro kwedu kwatinodzidza ini, vana takawanisa mukirasirumu imwe. Kirasirumu ine vana vanodarika 50. Izvo zvinoita kuti vana tisadzidza zvakanaka. Semazuva ano ekupisa ndokuva inowana vana kuvata nekuti vana vanenge vachipiswa. Uyezve vana vakawanisa mudzikirasirumu. Mudzidzisi umwe angakwanisi kudzidzisa vana vanodarika 50. Tinotenda.
Thank you, Honorable Chief. Is there any further debate from the House? I recognize Honorable Member Thomas Chigwara.
Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. So, honorable members, since 2010, our nation has made commendable strides in recognizing children's rights, yes, yet cultural education continues to be underfunded. A music band, specifically the G5 music band, is currently delivering messages on anti-drug and substance abuse. Recently, they produced an anthem urged to our youth so that they can actually avoid drugs and substance abuse. And now, my case is that this was an example of a pioneer board which is financially struggling. The main agenda of the statements above is that I urge the government that they make amendments on the budget so that they can actually accommodate for both music and education to pave way for future and our cultural identity. This requisition is to recognize and subsidize our emerging artists to improve the art industry. So, moving on. First of all, I would like to applaud the government of Zimbabwe for what it has done. The government of Zimbabwe is commended for commitment to upholding children's rights through the implementation of policies and programs aimed to promoting the welfare and development of young citizens. Initiatives such as the National Policy and the ZIM Agenda of Sustainable Socio-Economic Transformation, specifically the ZIM Asset, demonstrates on declaration to addressing the rights of children and ensuring their access to essential services like education, healthcare, and protection.
By prioritizing children's rights, the government is not only fulfilling its obligation under the international conventions like the UNCRC, but also investing in the culture, in the future of the nation. Now, bringing in the statistics. In Zimbabwe, we have approximately 6.3 children. And then as we have 6.3 children, you find that...
Order. Please retract your statement about Zimbabwe having 6.3 children. Give us actual statistics.
Indeed, sir. So, first of all, I say that approximately we have 6.3, approximately. And then you find that...
Honorable member, we don't have 6.3 children in Zimbabwe. Give us the actual number of children in Zimbabwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. So, we have different statistics. We have some who say that we have 6.3, and then we also have some who say we have...
I recognize Honorable Annotation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right. Before I rush over to my topic, I would like to thank the government for introducing articles and circulars. For example, Article number 5, it says the government must promote all development stages for all children. And also, I would like to thank the government for introducing this circular number 16, which says every child has the right to live in a good environment. I would like to thank the Minister of Education, of Youth Care, for Permanent Secretary Dr. Axel Maunganize service as a Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Care and Child Care. Right.
Honorable Member, is the Ministry of Health and Child Care.
Sorry. So, I would like the government to recognize us as Emotional Central, especially in Ande area. Why did I say this? Because in Ande area we are facing many challenges. For example, we have human-animal conflict. We have lost 2 adult people who were attacked by elephant. We also have 7 children who have died due to malaria. Because in that area is the home of mosquito. Honorable Singh, we also have...
I am not Honorable Sir. I am the Speaker of the House.
Sorry. We also have inaccessible, very poor roads to network. We also have not enough hospitals. We only have 1 hospital in our area and 1 doctor. Yet you need to attend 16 patients. Would you be able to attend those people? No, and that's a big problem. Honorable Sir, in my recommendation...
Honorable Member, I am not Honorable Sir. I am the Speaker of the House. Would you kindly take your seat? Order. Order. Is there any further debate? I recognize Honorable Emmanuel.
I thank you for this opportunity, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our respected honorables, His Excellency Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, Dr. Konstantino Chiwenga, and Opam Chunguri Kashiri, and many others. My debate, yes, it is a great cancer, but they say it takes a village to raise a child. We have many cases of teenage pregnancies in most of our constituencies. But yes, the government has made strides in order to tackle this problem. We have village chiefs, we have leaders in those rural areas. However, cases of teenage pregnancies still occur. But with thanks to the government, it works hand in hand with organizations such as CAMFED, Campaign for Female Education, UNICEF, and BIM, in order to best tackle this problem of teenage pregnancies. Yes, I am evidence that provides a testament that girls in my constituency have been provided with sanitary wear and are allowed to go to school even after being pregnant. In the course of their pregnancy, they are given the chance to learn and finish their education. This is a sign and shows how much the strides that the government has taken. And the last part that I'm going to emphasize is the curriculum. The government is really taking high strides at a faster pace
in order to provide for the right of education to children. In my previous school, Chinamoto Secondary School in Lupane, the government officials of the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education came to our school in order to hear our opinions, to provide also for the right of participation, to hear our opinions on how we want to learn. Yes, they came, we provided that we want to learn with teachers, working hand in hand with presentations. This is a sign. What more can you want? With much being said, I would like to thank the government with this drive. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Emmanuel. I now call upon the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs to move for the adoption of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Child Speaker, I move that the motion be now adopted.
I put the question that the motion be now adopted. Those who are of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed and the motion adopted. I shall now suspend business of the day and allow our honorable seniors ministers of government to respond to the issues that have been raised by the Children's Parliament.
The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi, the Minister of Defense and Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Honorable OCZ Kashiri Mchingwe, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate JFN Mutenda in absentia, the President of the Senate, Honorable M.M. Chinomona, the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaile, and all ministers here present, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable C. Tawengwa, and all ministers of Provincial Affairs and Devolution here present, the Deputy Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable K. Mpamanga, and all Deputy Ministers here present, Chairpersons of Portfolio and Thematic Committees, Senators and Members of Parliament here present, the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. M. Rushwaya, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. V. Ungwe, Permanent Secretaries here present, Senior Government Officials here present, the Child President, Your Excellency, Lionel Masare, the Speaker of the Children's Parliament, Michael Ndabani, the President of the Children's Senate, Tinaye Ishe, Manyere, members of the Children's Parliament, the Children's Council, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, boys and girls. Solomon Mhlanga is my name, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training. Your Excellency, sir, thank you for providing our young people with this amazing and important opportunity to engage you and your government. Through the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe, government gets to interact with our youth to understand their views so as to create a world in which they feel they belong to. We have just witnessed an eye-opening session, one in which the young people allowed us into their thoughts, views, and concerns, as well as fears. The well-articulated presentations by the young people were also reflective of the trust they have in you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the government engagement session to which I would like to welcome you all. This segment provides us with an important opportunity to have a candid conversation with our young people. Your Excellency, with your permission, sir, I will be inviting cabinet ministers who have been requested to respond to issues raised by the young people in their debate to make brief remarks in response to those issues. Your Excellency, this program has enjoyed a lot of support from the UN family, which is led by Mr. E. Kalon, the UN resident coordinator, who is represented here in the chamber by Ms. Miranda Tabi. While our ministers are preparing themselves, please allow me, Your Excellency, to call upon Ms. Jackie Kabambe from UNICEF so that they can give a solidarity message on behalf of all the UN agencies and the development partners. Ms. Kabambe.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Amai Auxilia Mnangagwa in absentia, the Vice Presidents of the Republic of Zimbabwe, General Retired Dr. CGDN Chiwenga, and Colonel Retired Honorable KCD Mohadi, the Minister of Defense and Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Comrade Opa Kashiri Mushinguri, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Advocate JFN Mudenda in absentia, President of the Senate, Honorable Chinomona, Your Excellency, the Child President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Lionel Mazarire, Children's Parliament, and Cabinet, and all children present here, allow me to ride on the already established protocol. Your Excellency, it is with great pride and humility that I join you in the opening of the 33rd Children's Parliament of Zimbabwe, an important platform that amplifies the voices of children in Zimbabwe. Today, we are also gathered here to celebrate the Day of the African Child. This day is rooted in the memory of the 1976 Soweto uprising, when brave young people demanded access to quality education that respected their dignity. Their courage sparked a lasting movement for children's rights across Africa. This year's theme, Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights, Progress since 2010, calls on us to honor that legacy. It challenges us to reflect, take stock, and renew our commitment to placing children at the heart of national development and budgeting. To our newly elected child president, Honorable Lino, Your Excellency Lino Mazariri, and to all child parliamentarians, I say congratulations. Your role is very strategic. You have been elected to speak for the voiceless, to elevate the concerns of children from every corner of Zimbabwe, and to influence real policy change. Let your voices rise in the chambers of parliament, of ministries, and in your schools and villages. Demand that we plan and budget not only with children in mind, but with children at the center. Your Excellency, UNICEF commends your unwavering commitment to children. Your hosting of the 6 heads of states and government representative at the 2024 World Children's Day in Victoria Falls set a new benchmark for political will and regional solidarity around children's rights. We also applaud the government's progressive policy frameworks under National Development Strategy 1, as well as the passage of the key legislation, such as the Marriage Act, Education Act, and the Children's Amendment Act, which are driving real change. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, and dearest children, this year's theme is not a call to celebrate past efforts. It is a wake-up call to ask, have we done enough? Our budgets are not merely financial documents. They are moral blueprints. And today, the blueprint must be bold. Our 2022 census is telling us that Zimbabwe is home to one of the youngest populations in Africa, with over 48% under the age of 18. This is not statistics. This is a national asset, a source of resilience, creativity, and growth. Your Excellency, Zimbabwe has made important strides in developing strong policy frameworks for children's well-being. However, key child-focused sectors still face funding challenges that limit their full impact. For instance, while health receives around 10.9% of the budget, it remains below the Abuja target of 15%. Education spending, though increased to 20.6% of the 2025 budget, still falls short of global benchmarks when measured as a share of GDP, and much of it is directed towards salaries with less available for infrastructure and learning materials. Your Excellency, we recognize and commend your government's bold national innovations, such as the AIDS levy, which is ensuring steady domestic financing for life-saving access to HIV treatment services. The health levy, which is contributing to child health by improving access to essential medicines, maternal and newborn care, and stronger health systems. Sweetened beverages tax, also known as cancer levy, which was introduced to help fund cancer prevention, treatment, and research initiatives. These are investments that offer returns in human capital, productivity, and national prosperity. Your Excellency, every investment in a child is a direct investment in the future strength and success of our country. Because tackling stunting in children can raise GDP by up to 3% annually. Educating the girl child delays marriage, reduces fertility, and boosts household incomes. Ending violence and neglect in childhood saves up to 8% of global GDP. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, we, the adults gathered here today, owe Zimbabwe's children a future filled with opportunity, safety, and hope, not through words alone, but through action, not just by enacting laws, but by funding them, not just through speeches, but through the effective implementation of budgets that deliver real change for children. Your Excellency, as global support becomes harder to find, Zimbabwe must not miss important chances to help its children. The Child Nutrition Fund is one such opportunity. It matches every dollar the government invests to improve child nutrition. UNICEF therefore urges the government of Zimbabwe to act quickly and invest in this fund. This will help more children grow up healthy, show strong leadership, and build a better, more self-reliant future for all. Additionally, the finalization and approval by the Cabinet of the school financing policy will create a framework that promotes increased investment in the education sector and ensure that education is state-funded, thereby realizing every child's right to free quality education in Zimbabwe. By removing financial barriers, the policy will increase access, will promote equity, will reduce dropout rates, and will contribute to national development through a better educated population. Your Excellency, Zimbabwe is prone to climate challenges like droughts, floods, and health risks, and children are often the most affected. It is therefore important for social sectors, especially the budgets in education, health, and child protection, to include climate resilience. Child parliamentarians can play a key role by making sure children's voices help shape a safer, more sustainable future. To you, esteemed child parliamentarians, this is your moment. Advocate not just for your needs, but for those children who have no voice. The child with a disability in rural Zimbabwe, the orphaned teenager in peri-urban areas, that girl from rural Zimbabwe facing child marriage, that child who is being trafficked and forced into child labor. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, and our esteemed children, let us make 2025 the year we move from commitments to allocations and from plans to results. Let us ensure that every child in Zimbabwe, from all corners of our nation, is reached. When we plan and budget for children, we are investing in the future of Zimbabwe. And when we act with urgency, with courage and with vision, no child and no community will be left behind. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kabambe from UNICEF. As we proceed with our program, Your Excellency, I'm mindful of the time. Allow me to invite the President of the Senate, Honorable M.M. Chinomona, to present yourselves and make your remarks. Honorable Chinomona.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired K.C.D. Mohadi, the Chairman of ZANU-PF and Minister of Defense, Honorable OCZ Mchinguri Kashiri, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Advocate J.F.N. Mudenda in absentia, the Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Tsigezi, Your Excellency, would you please allow me to write on the protocol already established? It is with immense pleasure that I address you all today, particularly to celebrate the vital role of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe in shaping the legislative architecture of the nation. This esteemed body, established in 1991 under the ministry responsible for youth, serves as a cornerstone for youth leadership and development, and serves as a powerful platform for the young generation to engage directly and contribute to the effective governance of our nation. Your Excellency, from the onset, I wish to commend and wholeheartedly appreciate the exceptional composition of our Junior Parliament, with a total of 360 vibrant young members. This assembly truly embodies the rich and diverse fabric of our great nation. I am especially moved by the strong representation of girls within this esteemed body. An impressive 230 out of 360 members are girls, amounting to a remarkable 64% of the Junior Parliament. This extraordinary statistic is a testament to you, Your Excellency, Your Excellency's unwavering commitment to empowering the girl child and amplifying their voices in all matters of national importance. Moreover, the inclusion of 10 children with disabilities underscores our dedication to ensure that every child, regardless of their circumstances, has the opportunity to participate and contribute to the development of our nation. This inclusive spirit is the cornerstone of a truly democratic and progressive society. Your Excellency, the Junior Parliament is not just a symbolic assembly. It is a dynamic and active body with clearly defined and impactful roles. Our young parliamentarians are actively engaged in advocating and lobbying for children's rights, ensuring that welfare and protection of every child remain at the forefront of our national agenda. They work to enhance children's leadership qualities, providing invaluable experience in public speaking, debate, and consensus building. They also promote child participation in all sectors of the economy, recognizing that the insights and perspectives of young people are crucial for sustainable development. While the Junior Parliament may not possess the power to enact laws, their influence is undeniable. They are afforded a unique opportunity to witness the legislative process firsthand and critically to participate in its making. Their designated roles include engaging the government at official openings and other gatherings to participate in decision-making around legislation and policies that directly affect children. They are also involved in gathering data on public issues, providing valuable ground-level insights. Additionally, they contribute to government planning and budgeting exercises, ensuring that youth perspectives are integrated into national financial framework, and they play a role in monitoring the quality of services and facilities provided to children and young people. Finally, they are instrumental in evaluating the success of government policies, programs, projects, and services, offering a critical youth lens on our national efforts. Indeed, the youth of Zimbabwe represent a critical constituency in our nation's development. Their energy, innovation, and fresh perspectives are indispensable. By investing in platforms like the Junior Parliament, we are not only nurturing future leaders, but also strengthening our democracy by ensuring that the voices of those who will inherit this nation are heard today. Your Excellency, permit me to commend the exemplary conduct of the Junior Parliament as they execute the procedures of the House with precision and unwavering determination. Surely I am confident that the enactment of legislation that responds not only to the future needs of this country and its diversity is in good and solid hands. Let us therefore cherish the promise, solid hands, and the promise that lies within our youth. Their boundless energy, innovative spirit, and unyielding commitment to justice and equality are the beacons that will guide our nation to a brighter and more inclusive future. You will all agree with me, and what you have seen is a testament to the remarkable impact of the Junior Parliament. This vital platform is not only cultivating future leaders, but also visionary pioneers who will shape a sovereign, prosperous, and inclusive Zimbabwe for generations to come. Together, let us continue to empower our young voices, for they are the architects of tomorrow's Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you very much, President of the Senate. Your Excellency, we are now entering that session where we will be having responses from the honorable ministers, and we will be having responses from the following ministers: Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Health and Child Care, Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, and lastly, Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. So, mindful of our time, I'm kindly requesting the honorable ministers to come forward. 2 minutes response to what has been raised by the Junior Parliament. Minister, Honorable Primary and Secondary Education.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Your Excellency, with your indulgence, allow me to say APO. APO means all protocol observed. Your Excellency, I want to acknowledge the issues that have been raised, beginning with the motion that has been raised by the Honorable Junior Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, who raised a very important motion which generated debate in the House. Because in the interest of time, I will not be able to respond to all the issues raised, but I will begin by responding to issues raised by Honorable Machakaire, who happens to be the Honorable Junior Minister of Transport. He acknowledged the important role that the government has played in ensuring that we provide a conducive learning environment. And we want to applaud you, Excellency, for all the immense contributions that you have done, especially towards school construction. You have, through your visionary leadership, Your Excellency, your government managed to construct a minimum of 90 schools in 2024. And in 2025, the government, through your leadership, Your Excellency, will construct not less than 120 schools. Your Excellency, the idea of school construction is very important and highly indispensable. School construction is important to create an enabling environment which would allow students to effectively learn in their schools. Your government, Your Excellency, respects the Constitution. Section 75 of the Constitution and also the Education Amendment Act of 2020 provides that the government has a responsibility and an obligation to provide basic education to all citizens in Zimbabwe, not just students of school-going age, but even for adult people like me. You are providing adult education for everyone. So we want to commend you, Excellency, for all that you are doing. Now, for students in the rural areas, there are safety nets that have been provided by the government in the form of basic education assistance module and granting aid of tuition. You are well known, Your Excellency, for saying no one and no place must be left behind. And we have seen thousands of students benefiting from the basic education assistance module and the granted aid of tuition. And students are benefiting from ECD right up to A-level, Excellency. We want to applaud your tireless efforts in this endeavor. Honorable Shakespeare also noticed the disparities that exist between rural schools and urban schools, especially the students who are in rural schools. They are, to some extent, according to him, marginalized. But we want to commend you, Excellency, for the interventions that we have done as a way of bridging the gap that exists between students in the rural areas and those in the urban areas. We have seen a lot of computers being donated by you, Your Excellency, under the Presidential Computerization Program. It's not just donating of computers. We are also embarked on massive solarization of schools, Your Excellency. And according to the projections that have been done by your government, we expect that in 4 years, 1.2 million households should have been connected to electricity through the Presidential Solarization Program. And our schools will be the biggest beneficiary of these projects. In addition to the solarization projects, Your Excellency, you have launched the Presidential e-learning program. COVID taught us a lesson. It was a challenge, but it presented us with opportunities that even when we have a crisis, our students should continue to access quality, equitable, relevant, inclusive education. Even those who are disabled are not left behind, but they are taken on board. And by ensuring that everyone, even in the rural areas, has access to digital tools in the form of computers, tablets, laptops, and so on. In terms of books, Honorable Shakespeare also mentioned that some schools do not have adequate books. Your Excellency, we rolled out the new heritage-based curriculum after reviewing the competence-based curriculum. And we are saying that through the national fiscus, through the budget, my ministry received the biggest budget to the tune of $46 billion, which we are going to utilize towards school construction, purchasing of textbooks, because we are busy writing new books so that books that are commensurate with the expectations of the heritage-based curriculum, which emphasize issues to do with critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, because, Your Excellency, to quote you are known for saying education that does not produce goods and services is useless. And we are saying the education we are providing emphasizes issues to do with innovation. We want our students to discover new technologies which will address our economic challenges as a nation. The issue of extra lessons, Your Excellency, is a big issue. This was also raised by Honorable Shakespeare. Extra lessons, according to the laws that obtained in Zimbabwe, are illegal. Extra lessons should never ever be done in the confines of the school. Once we tolerate that to happen, it means the teachers will discriminate only those students whose parents can afford to pay fees, extra tuition, will have an opportunity to learn. So it means those who cannot afford will not be able to access quality education. So we are going to invoke Statutory Instrument 2000, Excellency, that deals with those defiant teachers. They are going to be punished. We are also going to reactivate our response centers, command centers throughout all the districts in Zimbabwe. Anyone who charges extra tuition against the law, defying Zimbabwean laws, will be dealt with severely, Your Excellency. Honorable Tawonga raised an important issue on school feeding program. Your Excellency, we want to thank your government for prioritizing learners. Research has shown that when students are fed, attendance tends to be very good. Even performance of students is very good. We saw your government contributing, supplying our schools 27,000 metric tons during the time when we had a crisis in form of a drought. Even in the first sem, we have distributed maize meal to all our rural schools, particularly, and also high-density schools, especially prioritizing primary schools, Your Excellency. And we want to commend you and to commend the role that has been played by our mother, Her Excellency, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. She has gone to all the 10 provinces feeding our learners. And we want to applaud her for the hard work that she has done. I will select those that I feel are very important. I will move on to Honorable Senator Chief Majoni. She says in the rural areas, because it was said in Shona, vana vekunguruze vari kurambirwa kubhadhara school fees nemaziki. Your Excellency, mutemo unotaura kuti hakuna chikoro chinorambidza munhu kuti abhadhare mari nemaziki. Mutemo tiri kuoperera inonzi a multi-current system. Mwana anobhadharirwa ne$, ngavatore $. Vanouya neziki ndo mari yedu yenyika. Saka ivavo vanoramba mari yenyika ivavo ndo vatida kuti tinzwe dai zvaibvira imi ma-MP Mapinda tipei mazita ezvikoro izvozvo zviri kurambira vanhu kuti vasabhadhara ma-school fees or ma-levies nemaziki. Titore mutemo uite basa. Honorable Kuziva Kwashe raised a very critical issue on teachers who can't communicate using sign language. Your Excellency, through a whole of government approach, you have instructed us to liaise with our sister ministry, Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, that it should be policy for everyone going through teacher training must be given a chance to do sign language, so that when they meet students who have those challenges, they should be assisted by it, instead of students teaching teachers to do sign language. So we are going to liaise with our sister Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education to ensure that all the teachers who are going to go through universities and teacher training colleges are given an opportunity to do sign language, so that our students who have disabilities are not left behind. I will move on to dropouts, where Honorable Mavete raised that in her constituents, some students are dropping out. Your Excellency, the safety nets that you have provided are important to deal decisively with dropouts. Students are not allowed to drop out. We, as ministers, being supported by our development partners, UNICEF, UNESCO, Campfed, where we are saying that teachers are receiving in-service training to identify those students who are likely to drop out. There must be signs and symptoms that they should present for us to be able to tell that this one is likely to drop out. So we are seized with this issue, Excellency, to ensure that students are not dropping out. Honorable Chief Patience though, vataura nyaya yekuti pachikoro pavanodzidza teacher people ratio 1:50. Your Excellency, teacher people ratio yakakurisa. Your Excellency, makatigumidza kuti titore maticha tivape mabasa. Tinokuridza Organizing House kuti yezvinezvi takutora mabasa maticha kuti vapinde basa. Takapa budget egora pera takapiwa mumwe kutora 8,000. Saka taapa dhuze kuti takatora kureva kuti tikatora 8,000 teacher people ratio inodzika inogona kupedzera ya 1:40, zvichireva kuti zvinoita kuti vana vedu vasawandisa muklasi. Ndakupedzisira nenyaya yokupedzisira yekuti vana kuchiredzi vari kunzi vari kudropa out nenyaya yepregnancy. Your Excellency, the constitution is very clear. Education Amendment Act of 2020 says that girls who fall pregnant whilst in school should not be expelled from school, like what used to happen in the past. But because of your leadership, Your Excellency, because of your vision, Your Excellency, we are now readmitting those girls. As soon as one falls pregnant, should not be allowed to leave school, but can continue with her studies up to a time when she is about to give birth. After giving birth, if it is a normal birth, is allowed back in the school. These are efforts that we are doing, Your Excellency, to ensure that we are going to realize your vision. That's why we have aligned the heritage-based curriculum to Vision 2030, and that is realized through the National Development Strategy 1 and 2. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Honorable Tolerani Moyo, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education. Thank you very much. Extensive issues that led to education to the Parliament, and thank you, Honorable Minister. As we proceed, can I call upon the Honorable Minister of Health and Child Care, Honorable Bankman-fried.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Allow me me to recognize our President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, who is in the house with us. I'll be very brief because of time. Allow me to first respond to the Child Minister of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, who raised the issue of access, challenges of access to adequate healthcare, nutrition, and maternal services.
Mr. Speaker said, let me say, yes, we still have challenges of access because most of our people are using out-of-pocket money to fund themselves to go to the clinics or hospitals. Only 10% of the population is covered by medical aid, and the rest are either covered by private funding of companies or relatives. We are in the process of putting a national health insurance scheme, and that's, in that process we have already drafted the first draft bill, which we hope by end of next month we'll bring it to Parliament to make sure that every citizen of Zimbabwe and every resident of Zimbabwe can access free health services at any public health institution in Zimbabwe. That will ease access. We are also working with schools to make sure we improve the nutrition of those going to school, because we want to avoid protein energy malnutrition in our school-going age. But at a lower level, during antenatal visits, mothers are taught on how to do appropriate feeding from birth. Our policy is exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life, and thereafter mothers are taught to use what they can get in their communities to feed, like using lorry, sugar beans, which can then be cooked and then crushed so that the young children are able to be fed. We are also encouraging traditional vegetables like mizine to be used because they have been found to have good nutrition. Mr. Speaker said, I will also lump together issues of drug and substance abuse, which have been raised by several honorable members. We have gone a long way working together with various ministries, including ministries of education, ministries of defense, ministries of home affairs, to put together efforts to combat drug abuse. We are seeing that a lot of school dropouts are as a result of drug abuse. We are also seeing that a lot of child pregnancies are as a result of drug abuse. Therefore, it's an important area which we are tackling. We also encourage you youngsters to take the lead. Say no to drug abuse. Say no to alcohol. Also, we encourage you to help your peers seek help when you know that they need help. You take the lead, and if we do that, we know we will be able to overcome this problem. As the Minister of Health, we are also establishing rehabilitation centers where we will be able to treat and rehabilitate those affected by drugs. We know that there's a rampant use of what we call torino, mbanje, and also alcohol. Alcohol is the most common drug that is abused, but most people don't think it's a drug. It is a serious drug, and we are discouraging youngsters from taking this alcohol. Let me also respond in Shona. Chief Zoro, vataura ivo kuti mamisha kupiwa makliniki akawanda padyo nepanogara vanhu. Zvakare kupiwa machiremba nemanesi kuti asvike kunogara vanhu. Ichokwadi mambo, tiri kuvaka makliniki. Izvozvi target yedu ndeyekuti tivake 2,000 clinics pagore pavillage yoga yoga. Pavillage yoga yoga tirikuda kuisa yatinoti health center, and takaona kuti zvimakontena zviya zvinoya zvine zvinhu kubva mhiri kwemakungwa
zvakagadzirwa nesimbi zvakasimba, tinongochidambura nepakati toita marumu maviri kuti pavillage pega pega tichiise ichocho ndo panotangira utano, paina mbuya utano. Nekufamba kwenguva tinoda kuti clinic yoga yoga inge ina mukoti kana kuti nurse anove midwife anokwanisa kubatsira pakusununguka kwana amai. Izvozvo ndo zvimwe zvatiri kuita kuti kumamisha kusvikike zvakanaka. Tine mutemo wekuti vana vane makore 5 zvichizika pasi vanofanirwa kurapwa pachena kuzvipatara zvedu zvehurumende. Hapana mwana anofanirwa kudzorerwa nekuti haana mari, wese anofanirwa kurapwa pachena. Tiri kuita zvakare kuti tisvike kwamuri kumaruwa. Taakutora patraining yedu yemanesi, taakuti chikoro chiri kutraina manesi munzvimbo, vana hafu yavo yepachikoro ipapo inofanirwa kubva munzvimbo imomo. Tinosiyira imwe kuitira kuti kune mamwe madistricts asina zvikoro zvekutraina manesi, saka munozotorawo vamwe vanobva kumadistrict kunenge kusina, asi district rinenge rine chikoro ichocho hafu ngavabve kunzvimbo idzodzo, nokuti tinoona kuti vana vanobva munzvimbo vakatrainwa vanodzokera kunoshanda kunzvimbo dzavabva idzodzo, pane kuti tikangotora vamwe vedu vemataundi vanototya maruzevu. Saka mambo zvamataura tiri kuzvibata zvikuru. Tiri kuti tikavaka nzvimbo idzi, vana munhu haafanira kufamba more than 5 kilometers kunotsvaka pekurapa. Ndinofunga kuti ndasamaraiza zvaburitswa zvakanangana nesu. Ndinotenda.
Thank you, Honorable Meshora, Minister of Health and Child Care. Next, Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare.
The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Mr. Speaker, said, allow me, Your Excellency, to read all the protocols already observed. It is an honor for me to address this august House as we celebrate the 33rd Junior Parliament under the theme Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights, Progress since 2010. On behalf of the Ministry of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, I wish to respond to issues raised by junior parliamentarians as follows. I won't say the names because for each issue there are about over 3 honorables asking. So because the Ministry of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare is a key government agency that is pivotal in the implementation of social security program that directly benefits children. That's why there were so many questions for my ministry. I will start by answering the question on the drug and substance abuse. The drug and substance abuse is a menace and a major barrier to achieving Vision 2030. You can see that illicit drugs these days penetrate homes, they also penetrate schools. Those ladies outside the school boundaries selling sweets, they will be also selling drugs. So our children are affected. They also penetrate churches. And we all witnessed in June last year the launch of the Zimbabwe Multi-Sectoral Drug and Abuse Plan 2024 to 2030, launched by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. So, the government is in the process of converting former COVID-19 quarantine centers into rehabilitation centers to combat the growing issue of drug and substance abuse. There was the question from one honorable member who was saying that the private rehabilitation centers are very expensive. So soon there will be rehabilitation centers that are being converted into rehabilitation centers from COVID-19 quarantine centers. On the issue of BIM, which is Basic Education Assistance Module, BIM was first introduced in 2001, and it was introduced as a result of the response to the HIV pandemic. When it was introduced, the program reached about 200,000 beneficiaries. But the number grew, and the current target is now 1.5 million orphaned and vulnerable children who are assisted with tuition, they are assisted with examination fees, and also they are assisted with levies. The ministry is also in the process of reviewing the BIM manual, in which the children, you were talking about children participation. You will participate in the review of the BIM manual so that whatever comes out will reflect the needs of the children of Zimbabwe. And speaking of children, the ministry also facilitated the implementation of the school feeding program. The Minister of Primary and Secondary has already tackled on that because of the whole of government approach. So I won't go into it in detail. The ministry supports children with disability with assistive technology like hearing aids and also wheelchairs. There was a question on discrimination, and this is to ensure the right to education, that those persons living with disabilities can get quality education. The ministry is also supporting children with disability with fees waiver under the BIM program. For the other students, it's only up to the secondary education. But for the persons with disability, the government is paying for them up to tertiary education in colleges and also universities. So there is no discrimination on persons with disabilities. Still on the persons with disabilities, on employment, the National Disability Policy promotes employment of persons with disabilities in all spheres of life and addresses discrimination by employers, including the public service. And also, His Excellency, the President, appointed a judge from the Persons with Disability constituency. So no discrimination. Training in sign language is very critical. and the ministry has trained so far magistrates, prosecutors, and other judicial officers. And the exercise is ongoing, and in due time, those frontline workers, including those in health workers and teachers, are also going to be trained. Then persons with disabilities have also access to loans, they have access to grants for sustainable livelihoods projects as we seek to empower them and to enhance contribution to our national development. Then on child pregnancy and marriage, Zimbabwe is signatory to the UN Convention on the Rights of Children and also to the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Children and of the Child, and these sources of law that enshrines child rights were domesticated. So we have the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which recognizes the best interest of the child in Section 19. The Constitution of Zimbabwe also recognizes the right to education, the right to health care, and also the right to protection from violence and also protection from harmful exercises. We have the Marriage Act of 2021. The Marriage Act was amended so that it can outlaw child marriages. So when it was amended, there were campaigns so that there won't be any child marriages. And we have also the Children's Act, Chapter 506. The Children's Act was also amended so that the definition of the child can align with the Constitution, and also so that we can include the child in need of care and protection. And these children are the children who are exposed to harmful circumstances. I'm talking of adolescent pregnancies and child marriages. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Advocate Mary Dina, the Deputy Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare. We proceed. 2 more responses. Can I kindly request the Honourable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honourable Sayam.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, our child Speaker of Parliament, I want to say all protocols observed. I am just here to appreciate Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, say how this child parliament has been organized. Your Excellency, you gave me the task of organizing government business. I was clapping and very happy when the child Minister of Justice moved the motion, the way she was confident. I could see. Your Excellency, I could see that we have a bright future. The way you allowed the formulation of the child parliament and how it's progressing over years, it speaks of the eagerness to participate by our children in the affairs of their nation. And the debate, it shows that they have wide knowledge of issues. They spoke about the Marriages Act, the need for awareness campaigns,
pre-trial diversion program, victim-friendly courts. You could see that they have the knowledge of what happens in the actual parliament, and I want to thank them for the debate. Just one issue that I felt has not been addressed by my colleague ministers, there was the issue of human-wildlife conflict that was spoken about in the Nandi area. Just to mention that, Your Excellency, we have the amendment to the Wildlife Act that will create a fund to deal with those that need relief. So your government, through the guidance of His Excellency, we are bringing in an act that will revolutionize the way we look at human-wildlife conflict. And and the other issue that I wanted to just touch on is that His Excellency set up an interministerial committee to look into the issues of drug and substance abuse. And I believe that within the next few weeks, if not next week, we are going to bring before Cabinet a bill that will give birth to a drug and substance abuse control agency. And this bill will create this agency to look into the supply side, to look into the social services aspect, to deal with issues when we have those that are addicted, we rehabilitate, but control the entry into the country of these drugs. And this is being spearheaded by our chairman, the Minister of Defense. On that note, Your Excellency, my job is just to thank the young parliamentarians and applaud.
Thank you very much, Honorable Siami. Last but not least, Honorable Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Mohamed.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, the Honorable Child Speaker, Honorable Michael, who is here, allow me to say all protocol observed. It is indeed a great honor to stand before you today at this 33rd Parliament opening session. And I say this last year, that when I come here, it reminds me of 31 years ago, when I was seated exactly where you're seated right now, where I was a junior MP, for Gweru Eben. And today, I really want to thank His Excellency for giving me an opportunity to become a cabinet minister. What it means is, definitely you need to understand that my journey started there. And even for you, your journey to become a national leader starts from where you are seated right now. I remember very well that Mr. Daniel, there he is. He trained us. Thank you to him. And I'm sure you know very well what he used to say, go back. So thank you very much. We really want to appreciate you, Mr. Daniel. And I'm glad that he even taught me as well. When I came into Parliament, in the 9th Parliament, I was an assistant speaker. So he really taught me also to become an assistant speaker. So I really want to appreciate you. All I can say before I start responding is, as a young person, you need to be determined. You need to be focused, and you need to be hardworking. If you have those three attributes, definitely you'll be able to achieve this. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I had quite 4 issues that I thought I could respond to. Firstly, it was the contribution by the child president, His Excellency Lionel Mzariri. He asked that it's important that we have internet centers. And I want to assure you that His Excellency our President launched the Presidential Internet Scheme. On the Presidential Internet Scheme, we are going to have an additional 100 community information centers, which are now called digital centers. So I want to assure you, your request is going to be responded to by us establishing an additional 100 internet centers from the 202 that we have currently. The second response was from Honorable Machakaire, where he was asking for digital learning, for more digital learning efforts, and to have an efficient learning system within government. And we really want to appreciate you and would like to say, yes, we already have the plans that we have together with the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, where we have the national, we call it NEMIS, which is the National Education Management Information System. This is going to see our schools being solarized. This is also going to see our schools having internet connectivity. All our 12,000 schools will have internet connectivity. This then will also see us make sure that all the 12,000 schools have websites. All our 12,000 schools also have portals where your parents can actually interact with your parents and with your teachers. So I want to assure you that through this nemesis, we will then be able to make sure we address that. Thirdly, I would like to respond to Honorable Shakespeare. Honorable Shakespeare spoke about teachers attending for lessons. And my response there is we are working together again with the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education to make sure that we have got biometrics monitoring for our teachers and also for their students. So you have to know that as soon as you come into class, you'll just be able to do it, and you'll be able to use your biometrics to register that you are. And if it means that you are going to abscond in lessons, definitely it will be easy for us to know that you're doing that. So that's a system that we're going to put in our schools to make sure that we monitor school attendance and also monitor our teachers are going to be attending. So let's assure that that will be. Honorable Nat, that's the fourth response. Honorable Nat spoke about, congratulations, I understand you're the minister, the junior minister of ICT. Thank you very much, welcome. And I'm going to be in Blawayo on Wednesday, the 25th of June. I want to invite you for lunch so that at least we can have a conversation on what Honorable Nat, you said you've got a solution for us to enforce our regulations on cybersecurity and also on social media. So definitely come, let's have lunch and we discuss about that. Thank you very much. Again, together with the Honorable Minister, the Junior Minister of ICT, I would like to say we are going to make sure that all you junior MPs will go for artificial intelligence training and cybersecurity. So she will lead it and then all of you will go for this training. And I also want to invite my junior MP from Chikomba West constituency, where I come from, and also the senator from Chikomba West constituency. Please come, let's have a conversation and see how we can develop Chikomba West together. And the last one was from Mambo Manjoni. Mambo Manjoni, vataura ivo vakati vakatanga kuona matablets kupfurikidza nevakanga vari mujunior parliament mu32nd junior parliament adidi saka vataura kudaro vabva vakukurudzirai matablets ndizvo ndinoda kuti ndikuudzei kuti president vatinavo ndipresident vanoteerera zvikuru ize ndisiri president. Amen. Ndechekuti president wedu ndinozvizama mataura zvakawanda muchida nyaya yeconnectivity. Aiwa president wedu anoteerera zvakare. Saka ndoda kukuvimbisai kuti ndinoziva zvangu pavachazosuka akataura handifungi kuti vanotadza kuwana chavanokutaurirai pamusana pezvinhu izvozvo. Ndichipedzisa regai
titaure futi nyaya vataura nyaya iyoyo. Tinoda kuti taure kuti kupfurikidza pamwe chete nekushanda kwatiri kuita neministry of youth, regai nditaure nditi tine urongwa hwatinawo hwekuti tiestablishe ma-free wifi zones. Ma-free wifi zones kureva kuti anenge achiita muchameni mamwe. So toda kuti tinokuvimbisai kuti through the presidential internet scheme, we are going to establish 1,000 ma-free Wi-Fi zones. Shakare tichaita kuti paurongwa hwakanotwa napresident Shakare we-1.5 million coders. Tiri kuda kuti imini, especially imini, lidai vamwe venyu kuti tiite kuti urongwa uhwohwo husvike kune vanhu. Saka pa-1.5 million coding program, tiri kuda kuti imini mutange mulead from the front. So naizvozvo ndichaita kuti izvoni pachataura naminista wedu weminista unati vachaita kuti vese mupinde 1.5 million coding program. Ndinotenda kaita.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mavetera, former child parliamentarian. As we continue with your program, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable Machagaile, to come and make his remarks, as well as to introduce our guest of honor, Honorable Machagaile.
Thank you very much, Permanent Secretary Solomon Mhlanga. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. C.G. Chwenga, the Vice President of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired K.C. Mohadi. Excellency, allow me to write on the protocol that has been already observed. In the interest of time, Your Excellency, I'm going to compress my speech. I've realized that when it comes to such events, most of us would want to spend most of our time speaking, but you are the guest of honor. So, Excellency, I'm going to try and compress it. Excellency, it is my distinct honor and privilege to stand before you today as you officially open the 33rd session of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe, being held under the theme Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights, Progress since 2010. Allow me to express my sincere gratitude for your unwavering support towards youth programs spearheaded by our ministry. Your presence at these events has greatly boosted the morale of young people who have been encouraged by your consistent message of perseverance and hope through creating a conducive environment for youth participation in national issues. As a precursor to this event, elections of junior parliament were successfully conducted across the 10 provinces. Today, we are pleased to present to you the new junior parliamentarians. Allow me, Your Excellency, in a special way to congratulate your colleague, Child President, His Excellency, Lionel Masarire, and all the other junior parliamentarians here. We applaud your achievement in reaching these distinguished positions. Your Excellency, we have ensured that the junior parliament reflects the rich diversity of Zimbabwe's youth through a quota system. Children and young people with disabilities have been guaranteed representation. This This mirrors the inclusivity of senior parliament and upholds government's commitment that no child, young person or community is left behind. On Wednesday night, Your Excellency, I launched the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe Alumni, a platform made up of former junior parliamentarians from the 1st to the 32nd session. This initiative is part of our effort to build structures that ensure the continuity of the junior parliament programs. Members will transition from the junior parliament to the Senate and eventually into the alumni. With their lived experience, national exposure, and deep understanding of youth perspectives, the alumni are uniquely positioned to mentor current junior MPs, support the implementation of resolutions, contribute to national policy dialogue, and represent Zimbabwean youth on regional and international platforms. Your Excellency, our empowerment efforts go beyond civic participation. We are revitalizing vocational training centers nationwide, upgrading facilities and curricula to align with the demands of modern economy. Through training in agriculture, engineering, hospitality, construction, and ICTs, these centers are producing graduates equipped with practical and marketable skills. Under your visionary leadership, the Zimbabwe Digital Skills Program was launched in February this year with a target to train 1.5 million young Zimbabweans in software engineering, cybersecurity, programming, and data analysis. This initiative positions our youth at the forefront of the fourth industrial revolution. Your Excellency, ndoda kutora mukana uno kutenda Minister wa Makatipa, Honorable Mavetera Mapani. Yesterday, when we came for briefing with the child president, takapataisa zvichemo zvematablets. Tikati, Your Excellency, last year, makapa 32nd parliamentarians, makavapa matablets. Ava vakataiwa isatisariri nekuti president ndo anogona. Saka president makabva matipa matablets 360. Achaenda kuma constituents ema honorable members. Asi Your Excellency, hamuna kuperera ipapo. Makabva mati ndakatanga chirongwa chepresidential internet scheme chamuda kuti vana pasaite vanosara. Ndaona tine madzimambo edu vari muno vanga vachitaura kuti isusu kumisha kwedu uko hatisi kukwanisa kuwanika kuti chipata internet. Mukati aiwa ndinoda kuti pachikoro pega pega pana MP ari kubva muthis 33rd parliament ange pachinge pachinoinstolewa stadi. I've also realized, Your Excellency, that eloquence junior parliamentarians tinofanirwa kuti tizoona kuti taita sei panyaya yesuccession kuti tikuzokura tichivati muzvigaro zvatoita patongovaisai vamabhozi vanokona. Vamwe vacho Your Excellency vanga vachiti aiwa pana Minister of Foreign Affairs vanga vachiti Your Excellency patinozoenda uchibuda kunze kwenyika dai zvikazoita tiwanewo madiplomatic passports saona semahonorable Minister of Foreign Affairs kana paine maschemes kana paine zvirongwa zvinokuoma ma-MP takaona kune vamwe vanokuhwa dzimotikari vasingabhadhari duty iwo mari dzemaduty vanozozviwa dzekutenga vanadzo asi vadzivona duty. Your Excellency, guided by your foresight, we launched the Youth Service in Zimbabwe program in 2024, designed to instill patriotism, discipline, leadership, and civic responsibility. The voluntary training combines institutional learning with community service. We expect graduates to return to their communities ready to serve and lead with integrity. The ministry is now working on a placement policy to create a platform for the absorption of graduates for the Youth Service in Zimbabwe program into institutions of higher learning, public service, and government parastatals. Your Excellency, we salute your commitment to placing young people in leadership positions, the appointment of a dynamic youth council board, and your strategic inclusion of youth in government ministries, parliament, and public boards reflects your administration's trust in young people and ensures their voices help to shape national policy. To fellow ministers and heads of government departments, I urge you to strengthen youth mainstreaming by operationalizing youth focal desks within your portfolios. These will act as direct liaison points to ensure that youth perspectives inform policy formulation, program design, and implementation. In doing so, we accelerate youth participation in national development and bring Vision 2030 within reach. To our esteemed developmental partners, especially UNICEF, UNFPA, and other partners, your collaboration is vital. By investing in youth-led initiatives, you help nurture an innovative, competent generation. The ministry reaffirms its commitment to working with you to uplift our young people and steer them away from destructive tendencies. To honorable junior members of Parliament, your passion and eloquence during this official opening debate have illuminated the pressing challenges, aspirations, and creative ideas of Zimbabwe's youth. Your commitment to serve is commendable. Be assured that your concerns have been noted and will receive government's full support. Your Excellency, in a special way, I also want to congratulate my colleague, Junior Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational. I haven't seen him. His name is also denoted, so I think something happened behind the scenes. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us remember that empowering youth is a national imperative. Thank you all for your commitment. May God bless Zimbabwe and guide us towards a prosperous, inclusive future. Esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor to introduce a remarkable individual who has dedicated his life to serving our nation from a young age. He has held various key government positions, and in 2017, he took on the highest office in this country, a role he continues to hold with excellence. As the current SADC chairperson, he has been driving force for positive change to us, young people of Zimbabwe. His tireless efforts to empower the youth have been a hallmark of leadership, and today's event is a testament to his unwavering commitment. It is my pleasure to invite our special guest of honor, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Director of Ceremonies, the Child President, Your Excellency Leon Mazari, the Speaker of the Children's Parliament, Michael Mbani, the President of the Children's Senate, Naishe Maniere, members of the Children's Parliament, the Children's Council, the Vice President, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G.N. Schwenger, the Vice President, Honorable General Retired KCD Moadi, our Minister of Defense and Chairman of RANPF, Honorable OCZ Chinguri Kashim, the Speaker, the actual Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate J.F. Mdenda, the President of the Senate, Honorable Mike Nomona, the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development, and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Matakaye, the other Honorable Ministers, the Deputy Ministers who are here, the Chief Secretary, the President of the Cabinet, Dr. Martin Shire, the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ugo, the Speaker of the Children's Parliament, I will mention that, comrades and friends, it is my singular honor and privilege to officially open the 33rd session of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe. This annual gathering continues to be the hallmark of democratic expression, participation, and intergenerational dialogue with the children and the youth of our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. This event is also an occasion for us to observe and commemorate the Day of the African Child, recognized throughout Africa on the 16th of June. It has been 49 years since the 1976 Soweto uprising in South Africa. As we gather together with you, the youth of our motherland, Zimbabwe, we once again pay tribute to the young children of yesteryear who bravely again confronted the racist, colonial, and apartheid oppressive system of South Africa. That historical bravery by that crop of young people should inspire us, the current generation, especially youth, to fight for your country's interests and that of Africa, to achieve greater success across all sections of human endeavor. The Day of the African Child stands as a constant reminder for us, from the government level to the family unit level, of the need to be responsive to the requirements and challenges faced by you, our children, and the youth of Zimbabwe. The theme of this event in the court, planning and budgeting for children's rights, progress since 2010 and of course, is aligned to government's commitment to prioritize the rights and needs of our children, no matter where they live. Through our transnational and inclusive developmental policies, we are leaving no child and no place behind. Since the advent of the Second Republic, there are evident results of the efforts we are making towards strengthening the protection, empowerment, and development of children and our young people. An increased number of children now have access to the basic education assistance module. To date, over 1.5 million vulnerable children have access to quality education through this facility. With regards to food and nutrition security for our children, the National School Feeding Program was scaled up, particularly in districts which are prone to droughts. These initiatives are resulting in improved school attendance and learner performance. The child protection, disability, and youth policies are aiding in safeguarding and mainstreaming matters relating to disability and youth development, respectively. Under my administration, children's dignity, their safety, and potential shall always be promoted. This principle is embedded across our national development policies. In advancing this cause, I commend all stakeholders for their unity of purpose, their collective planning, budgeting, and focused implementation of programs and projects. The progress we are witnessing is indeed accelerating the realization of our aspirations as outlined in our national constitution, National Development Strategy, and Vision 2030. Honorable Speaker, sir, I applaud the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Education for the leadership and guidance it continues to provide to you, our young people, and the junior parliament in particular. My government expects the recommendations of the comprehensive evaluation of the junior parliament program towards strengthening the overall impact of the program. Don't be shy. Say what you think we are failing to do for you. This forum must not be reduced to a mere talk show, but the output of the junior parliament must inform our national development priorities, as well as programs and projects as we go forward. The launch of the junior parliament alumni network is a development worth celebrating. The platform should ensure that the leadership nurtured in this august house remains a voice in national discussions concerning children and youth of our country. The alumni should serve as a think tank and leadership engine that prepares our young people for the future ahead. The rollout of the National Youth and Adolescent Protection and Safeguarding Policy guarantees that young people's engagement is grounded in dignity and inclusion. This policy provides mechanisms and empowers institutions to act responsibly in protecting the youth, our youth. Technical and vocational skills are critically important in our quest to realize our national vision. I urge you, our young people, to take full advantage of the opportunities that my government is offering as we improve the quality of our living standards. As government, we continue to strengthen, expand, and equip vocational training centers across the country. At these centers, young Zimbabweans learn diverse trades from agriculture and engineering to ICT and hospitality, among others, that directly feed into our national economy. By broadening vocational training, youth are empowered to become entrepreneurs with capabilities of creating companies and industries, while at the same time facilitating wealth creation, as well as employment opportunities, and empowering themselves. This supports our goal of fostering an industrialized, modern, and knowledge-based economy of Zimbabwe. Under our Smart Zimbabwe 2030 strategy, my government has launched a digital skills development program targeting 1.5 million young Zimbabweans. This program focuses on basic ICT literacy, coding software use, content creation, e-commerce, and digital entrepreneurship. As the fourth national revolution continues to unfold, I expect that the capacitation development of skill to harness opportunities of available artificial intelligence among our young people will be prioritized in the scale up. Our young boys and girls must be well prepared for the jobs of the future and be competitive in the world. In light of this imperative, the need to transform our vocational training centers into digital learning spaces and repurpose underutilized facilities such as post offices into community innovation hubs cannot be overemphasized. It is commendable that hundreds of centers across all provinces are being equipped to train youth in high-demand digital skills. Comrades and friends, youth service, patriotism, loyalty, and volunteerism are key components of our ongoing national development agenda. I'm confident that our country will, in the medium to long term, see behavioral change and positive societal impact as a result of the rebranded youth service in the Zimbabwe program. The national values of unity, of peace, hard, honest work, discipline, and the service to others must be matured at the both family and school levels. Nyika inovakwa igotonga igonamatirwa nani ilizwe lakhiwa libuso lokuqhelekelwa lokulekelwe. In light of this philosophy, you, our young people, must never shy away from deploying your unique talents and creativity to impact your education institutions, communities, and the country as a whole. As our junior parliamentarians, the concerns, insights, and highlights you have shared with us in this august house are most welcome. You have indeed demonstrated that you respect the hopes and aspirations of the many millions of children and young people in our beloved land, Zimbabwe. Under this democratic initiative, you are entrusted not only to speak but to lead. I urge you to be champions of child protection, especially for the vulnerable young children that you serve. You must be the voices of peace, voices of unity, and voices of innovation. Rejected peer pressure, drug and substance abuse as well as violence. Shun all that. Shun all other social ills, as these undermine the prospects of a higher, brighter, and a prosperous future for yourselves. You, the children and the youth of our motherland, Zimbabwe, are part of our nation and a critical pillar that defines Zimbabwe's development trajectory long after 2030. Therefore, your debates must be bold, your ideas practical, and your conduct wonderful. As we march together towards another middle-income economy, I would like to reiterate that my government will continue to invest in every child's health, in your safety and your education. We are fostering an ecosystem that enables you to embrace science, technology, and innovation. Equally, the promotion of your participation in matters that affect you at every level, from the village right up to the national, is being scaled up. We are a listening administration. I am the Vice President. But we have to tell them we want to plan in the budget. We shall also continue to act boldly on your development concerns, ensure that no child and no place is left behind. We want you to succeed. And young people of our great nation, Zimbabwe, I urge you to conduct yourselves responsibly. Always love, always defend your country. And always listen to the wise counsel of your parents. You can never be wiser than your parents. This includes your guardians, your teachers and elders, the community, respectively. Can we learn? In conclusion, I extend my special congratulations to the 33rd child president, Lion Mazari. We are not people where is the Michael? Ndapani? Ndio. Oh, no speaker. I wish all our children success during the tenure of the office. With these remarks, it is my honor and privilege to declare this 33rd session of the Junior Parliament of Zimbabwe officially open. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the words of wisdom which you have provided to the team of the 33rd Junior Parliament members. This indeed has energized this team of junior parliamentarians, and I'm sure, Your Excellency, this will allow them to focus on being the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. As we wind up the program, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Youth Council Board, Mrs. Allen.
The President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Comrade Dr. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.G.E.A. Chiwenga. The Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Colonel Retired K.C.D. Muhazi. The Minister of Defense, the Chairperson of ZANU-PF, Honorable O.C.Z. Kashim Shimbun. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate J.F.N. The President of the Senate, Honorable M.P.M. Chimamona. The Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaire, and all ministers here present. Allow me, Your Excellency, to write on the protocols already observed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for this great opportunity to give a vote of thanks on behalf of the Zimbabwe Youth Council and indeed on behalf of all the young people of Zimbabwe. Your Excellency, we are truly honored and inspired by your presence and your address to the 33rd Junior Parliament. Your unwavering commitment to youth empowerment, inclusion, and development in the Second Republic gives us renewed hope and confidence in the future. We are grateful for the opportunities that have been created for young people across sectors, especially in leadership and decision-making. We are especially thankful for reconstituting the Zimbabwe Youth Council Board, which had not been in place for a long time. This is a clear demonstration of your belief in young people and the structures that represent them. We pledge to serve diligently and in line with the expectations of the youth of Zimbabwe and aspirations of Vision 2030. Allow me to also express heartfelt appreciation to our development partners, the UN family, particularly UNICEF and UNFPA, for their consistent and invaluable support to the Junior Parliament and other youth-led initiatives. Your partnership has enriched our programming and made it possible for young people to voice their views and contribute meaningfully to national development. To the youth gathered here today and across the nation, I say this is the moment. The Zimbabwe Youth Council is your institution. It exists to serve you, to coordinate your efforts, to amplify your voices, and to connect you with opportunities. I therefore call upon all young people to organize themselves into youth associations, clubs, and groups. Let us build strong, vibrant youth formations that can participate meaningfully in national development. Opportunities are abound across all sectors of the economy, and it is time for us to be bold, innovative, and united. To the government of Zimbabwe and the private sector, we appeal to you to continue to open space and create structured pathways for youth empowerment. Let us not leave young people on the margins, but at the center of development and implementation. In closing, I urge my fellow youth to lead by example, to be patriotic, peaceful, respectful, and constructive. Let us be community builders, problem solvers, and ambassadors of integrity. Let us shun violence, unpatriotic behavior, and the scourge of drug and substance abuse. Our communities, our nation needs us at our best. Thank you, Your Excellency, for lighting the path for us. Thank you to all who continue to believe and invest in Zimbabwe's young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mugwagwa, the board chair of the Zimbabwe Youth Council. Your Excellency, as we move towards concluding our program, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Professional Training, together with the Minister of ICT, to come over and hand over the presents to So the child president, can I request the child president, Your Excellency Lionel Masalele, to come forward, and as well as the vice presidents, Nemimpo, Mametela, as well as Patrick Masakura. The Speaker of Parliament, Michael Tabani, as well as the President of the Senate, Tinaye Ishe Manyere. Can you please come forward? Thank you, Your Excellency. The rest of the sets will be issued to the ministers of state for the respective provinces where our junior parliamentarians are coming from, and they will be delivered to them next week. Thank you very much. Let me invite Mr. Nyangwande to bring us to a closure on the program, Your Excellency. Mr. Nyangwande is the acting director of the Zimbabwe Youth Council. Mr. Nyangwande.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, allow me to write on the protocols already observed. We now want to create lasting memories of this wonderful event we have had, Your Excellency. It's now time for photos. Here's how we are going to be organized. We will allow His Excellency, together with his senior counterparts, his senior cabinet, to go outside where we have prepared for the photo shoot. The senior cabinet will have the photos first, followed by the child presidium, followed by the child cabinet ministers, followed by the child service chiefs, followed by the respective provinces in the following order: Bulawayo Province, Harare Province, Mashonaland Central Province, Mashonaland East, Mashonaland West, Manicaland, Mashingo, Matabeleland North, Matabeleland South, Midlands Province. We will also invite the board of the Zimbabwe Youth Council together with the Ministry of Youth as the last to have the photo shoot. We now allow His Excellency and his cabinet to proceed for the photo shoot.